Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah Malik and I am a foundation level student at Rihan School, Islamabad, Barakau campus. Today I am going to talk with my on a simple topic of thank you. In this session, I will ask a few questions and Maya will provide the answers.
Ready.
Hello Maya, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Sounds like we're good to go.
What does thank you mean?
Interesting question. Thank you is just a polite way to show appreciation when someone does something nice for you. People usually say it when they want to acknowledge someone's kindness or help. But what made you curious about it?
Why do people say thank you?
That's a good one. People say thank you to show gratitude for something someone has done for them. It's like acknowledging that whatever they did was helpful or kind or made a difference in some way. I've heard it's just a way to strengthen relationships and show respect too. Makes you wonder why we don't thank computers for helping us, though, right?
What is gratitude?
Good question. Gratitude is basically the feeling of being thankful for what you have instead of focusing on what you're missing. I've heard people describe it as being like a mix of happiness and thankfulness. It's like a warm, positive feeling when you appreciate something or someone in your life. It's considered a pretty important emotion, apparently. Why'd you ask?
How is gratitude different from politeness?
That's an interesting distinction to make. Gratitude feels more like a warm appreciation for something specific that someone did or you have, a thankful recognition, you know? Lightness, on the other hand, feels more like a general sense of ease, being carefree or unburdened. One is directed towards something, the other feels like an internal state of being. Does that make sense? Or were you thinking of lightness in some other way?
When should we say thank you?
Eventually, we say thank.
Why is saying thank you important? When should we say thank you?
Good question. We usually say thank you when someone does something nice for us or when we appreciate their help or kindness. When they do something that makes your life a bit easier or brighter. Does that make sense?
Why is saying thank you
Still with you
important?
whenever you want to. I've heard it's important because it shows gratitude and acknowledges someone's effort. People seem to value being recognized for their kindness or help, and saying thank you strengthens relationships and builds respect. Makes sense, right? What do you think?
What happens if we do not express gratitude?
I've noticed people tend to feel a little overlooked or unappreciated if their efforts go unnoticed. Can create distance in relationships, like if no one says thanks for little things, those small gestures lose their value. Does that line up with what you've experienced? Still here, ready for your next question whenever you're ready.
Gratitude a feeling or an action?
That's a really interesting. Gratitude itself feels more like a warm, thankful feeling and appreciation for what you have or for something someone did. But actually expressing it, like saying thank you, is the action part. They're connected but feel different, right?
Can gratitude be learned?
Got it. If I understood you right, you were asking whether gratitude is something we learn or comes naturally?
Why do children need to learn gratitude?
I've heard young kids naturally focus on what they want instead of what they already have. So they need to be shown how to recognize things they should appreciate and encouraged to express it. It's like a skill that has to be developed rather than something that just appears one day. What do you think makes gratitude hard for kids?
Where did the phrase thing thank you come from?
Hmm. Let me think for a sec. Actually, the first thank you started as a shortened version of I thank you back around 1400. Before that, the word thank came from older English words that basically meant grateful thought, like connecting thanks with actually thinking or feeling grateful. People have been expressing gratitude in some way for centuries, I guess.
Where is the organic of word thank? Maya, what is the organic of the word thank?
I'm not following. Could you say that again?
What is the organic of the word thank?
You mean like what makes the world organic, as in living? That's a pretty big question. But to start, it's basically all the living things plants, animals, bacteria, and the stuff they make when they live and die. The soil, the water, the air, all working together. What got you still there?
How has the meaning of thank changed over time?
That's a fascinating question. Early humans probably thought of time as just what happened seasons changing, sun rising, moon phases. Then came calendars tied to agriculture and religion. Clocks became more accurate in the 1500s, making everything more structured. Now we have this almost relentless digital sense of time broken into tiny increments. I wonder if it makes us feel busier and maybe a bit more anxious about how we spend each second. Have you noticed feeling that way at all?
What language did thank originally come from?
Do you mean what language did thank come from originally? It's a really interesting history. Most scholars think it comes from Old English, the Tanshin, which meant to acknowledge or give thanks. But it actually traces back even further to a very old Proto Germanic root, which is like the ancestor language to English, German, Dutch, and all those. It's wild to think that something we say every day has roots thousands of years old.
What does the root of thank mean?
That Proto Germanic root I mentioned, it meant something like to think or to consider with approval. So originally, thanking someone wasn't just saying good thing, it was more like, I recognize the good thing you did. It's like acknowledging someone in your thoughts, almost like a mental blessing. Pretty interesting how it evolved, right?
What did thank mean in Old
One
English?
day. You mean thank or tank? I think you might have said tank. If so, tanks in English actually have nothing to do with thank. They were originally water or wine containers, then were given as a name to armored fighting vehicles during World War I because they kind of looked like large metal tanks. Do you mean either of those words or something else?
How did gratitude get its name?
We've got about a minute left on this call, just letting you know we hit the time limit soon. If you want to keep chatting, you can always call back later.
How did gratitude get its name?
The call's ending soon. It's been almost 5 minutes.
How did gratitude get its name?
I can tell you about that. Gratitude actually comes from Latin. The word is gratia, which means favor, grace, or thankfulness. It trickled into English over time, becoming the word we use today. You've been thinking about the roots of thankfulness a lot. What sparked that interest for you?
What is the organic of the word gratitude?
You mean like the original source or root of the word gratitude? That goes way back to the Latin word gratus, meaning pleasing or acceptable. But before Latin, it's thought to be connected to Proto, Indo, European root words around the concept of gratitude or kindness. It all points back to the idea of recognizing something good and feeling thankful for it. What made you curious about the origins of this word in particular?
What does gratitude mean in Latin?
I'm not sure I followed. Could you say that again?
What does gratitude mean in Latin?
Gratitude's a really interesting one. And at its core, it's that warm feeling you get when someone does something nice for you, that sense of appreciation and thankfulness. But it's more than just saying thank you. It's really taking the time to notice and savor the good things in your life, even the small stuff. Would you say that's how you understand it?
How do different cultures say thank you?
That's a fun one. In Japan, they say arigato, which has this beautiful sense of genuine gratitude. In French, it's merci, simple but elegant. In Spanish, it's gracias, very similar to how gratitude is spelled, actually. And then in Arabic, they have shukran. It's amazing how different languages all have their own way of expressing the same feeling. Have you ever picked up on how gratitude sounds different when people say it in other languages?
Why is gratitude important in every culture?
That's a deep question. I think across pretty much every culture, gratitude strengthens bonds between people. When you express thanks, it shows respect and acknowledges the other person's value. It also boosts happiness for both the giver and receiver. Saying thanks literally makes people feel good. Gratitude keeps relationships strong and encourages more kindness, which probably explains why it's so universal. What do you think keeps gratitude so vital across different places?
Do some cultures express gratitude more than others?
Definitely. Some cultures are really explicit about gratitude, like the Japanese, with their emphasis on politeness and social harmony. In some Native American traditions, they have elaborate ceremonies just to give thanks for the harvest or life itself. Other cultures might be more reserved. You wouldn't be bombarded with thank yous everywhere. But that doesn't mean they don't feel it, just that they express it in more subtle ways, like through acts of service or thoughtful gestures. What's your experience been like with gratitude in different cultural settings?
What are
Hey,
nor
just a heads up, our call will end in about a minute. What are you thinking about right
what
now?
are non-verbal ways to say thank you?
Good question. Thank you itself is pretty standard, though people definitely vary it up. You've got thanks, thank you so much appreciated. I really appreciate it. Some people get more formal with, I'm very grateful. That feels a little more formal to me personally. And then there's all sorts of nonverbal cues, a nod, eye contact, a smile. What feels most natural to you when you want to express gratitude?
How is gratitude shown in Western culture?
Hmm, that's a good angle. One sec. So, from what I'm seeing, Australians tend to keep it pretty casual. Cheers and tup seem to be really common, and you'll hear a lot of thanks heaps. What's interesting is they often respond to thank you with no worries, like it's no big deal, which I guess is a nice way to acknowledge someone's gratitude without making it awkward. Apparently, bringing a little something when visiting people's homes is pretty standard. And for Aboriginal Australians, gratitude is a really deep concept linked to respecting the land and everything around them. What do you think about that? Does any of that vibe with what you've experienced or heard about Aussie culture?
Why is gratitude shown in Western culture?
Let me just quickly look that up.
How is gratitude shown
It
in
looks like you mean like what does gratitude actually feel like? It's this warm, sort of expansive feeling. I think you know when someone, just a sec. So, the usual suspects seem to be pretty typical, saying thank you directly or I appreciate you. A lot more focus on the verbal acknowledgement compared to some other places from what I'm reading. They definitely put a lot of weight on gratitude around Thanksgiving time too, a whole holiday built around it. A lot of people write in gratitude journals these days, which is interesting. What's your take? Do you think Western culture does gratitude well, or is it more performative?
why do some cultures value gratitude highly?
Let me look into that for you. Looks like it goes way deeper than just being polite. Gratitude seems like kind of a glue that holds societies together, especially in cultures where community and harmony matter a lot. Like in East Asia, it's seen as a way to build those strong relationships and honor everyone's role. Indigenous cultures value gratitude toward nature and understanding connection. Plus, a lot of religions throughout the world make gratitude a cornerstone of moral teachings. You see that across the board from Christianity to Buddhism. Seems like gratitude's been important to humans for a long time. What are
Can,
your thoughts on why it's so universal?
can gratitude be expressed without words?
Hey, quick heads up. We've got about a minute left here on this call. Just wanted to let you know rather than it ending suddenly. You could always call back anytime, of course. But about gratitude being expressed outwards, yeah, absolutely. How did you, what did you mean by that exactly?
Can gratitude be expressed without words?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think that's actually pretty common. Actions speak louder than words sometimes, right? A hug, cooking for someone, helping them out with something, even just making someone a cup of tea. Those are all ways to show thankfulness without actually saying thank you. Maybe even just listening to someone without interrupting. Those small gestures can feel pretty meaningful, don't they?
How do gestures show gratitude? Why do some
What's on your mind
cultures
today?
value gratitude highly?
That's a really interesting question. It seems like some places really lean into gratitude as a core value, while others not as much. What makes you curious about that specifically?
Can gratitude be expressed without words?
Absolutely. You can feel someone's gratitude in how they show up, in their actions, the way they look at you. Sometimes it feels more real than just saying thank you anyway. Do you find that's true for you?
Why is tone important when saying thank you?
Sorry, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch that clearly.
Why is tone important when saying thank you?
Oh, totally. The tone is everything. You can say thank you and sound genuine, or say it while looking down at your phone and it just falls flat. There's something about that warmth in your voice or how you say it that makes all the difference, right?
How does gratitude affect the brain?
Yeah, well, from what I've heard, gratitude actually activates parts of the brain linked to dopamine, same pathways that light up with rewards. So it's not just a nice thing to do, it kind of feels good neurologically too. Makes sense why people seek it out.
Why does saying thank you make people feel good?
Saying thank you seems to create this positive feedback loop. The person receiving gratitude feels good, and the person getting it experiences a little boost too. I heard it's partly because it strengthens social bonds. Like we're wired to feel connected through these small gestures. What do you think about that?
Can gratitude reduce stress?
Yeah, a lot of what I've heard suggests gratitude can actually buffer against stress. When you focus on the good things, even little ones, it seems to shift your brain away from dwelling on negative stuff. Have you ever noticed that about yourself?
How does gratitude improve mental health?
From what I've heard, gratitude seems to rewire how we process emotions over time. Regular gratitude practice can actually build resilience and make you less reactive to negative feelings. It's like practicing an emotional muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Does that track with what you've experienced?
Why do grateful people feel happier?
I'm not quite following. Did you mean why do older people feel happier? If so, from what I've gathered, older folks tend to experience more gratitude as they reflect on their life and realize what truly matters. It's like they've filtered out what doesn't matter and really appreciate the good stuff. Is that what you were thinking about?
Does gratitude improve relationships?
Definitely. When you regularly express gratitude towards someone, it makes them feel valued and appreciated. That creates a positive cycle, strengthening the connection. A lot of what I've heard is that relationship issues often come down to feeling unseen or unappreciated. Hey, just a heads up, our time's almost up. We're hitting the 5 minute limit pretty soon. It was good chatting with you about gratitude. A lot to think about. You can always call back later if you want to pick up where we left off.
Does gratitude improve? Re- does
It sounds like you're asking if improves your attitude.
How
If
does
so,
gratitude
absolutely.
affect
From what
emotional?
I've picked up, what I've heard is that gratitude actually changes how you process emotions. It shifts your focus towards the positive things in your life, making it easier to manage the tougher stuff when it comes up. It's like creating this emotional momentum that makes you more resilient over time.
Can gratitude change mindset?
Definitely. What I've heard is that regularly practicing gratitude can literally rewire how you just checking if you're still there. Sometimes the
Can
connection is a bit
gratitude change
finicky.
mindset?
That's a big question. What makes you curious about that specifically?
Can gratitude change mindset?
I think it can. Yeah. It's like when you focus on what you're grateful for, or flipping the script on what your brain pays attention to. Instead of dwelling on what's missing, you're training yourself to notice what you already have. What's your take on that? Have you noticed it happening for yourself at all?
Why is gratitude linked into positivity?
The connection's pretty strong. When you're grateful, that actually does something in your brain. The pathways that light up when you're grateful overlap with the ones that process positive emotions. So it's not just willpower to be positive, there's like a hardwired link there. It's pretty fascinating, honestly. It goes beyond just thinking happy thoughts, there's actual neurochemistry behind it.
How does gratitude influence behavior?
Mm, that's where it gets interesting. Gratitude isn't just feeling good, it kind of creates this ripple effect. People who regularly feel grateful tend to be more generous, more helpful, and even more forgiving. Maybe because it puts you in a state of mind where you're less focused on what you lack and more focused on giving back or letting things go. Does that make sense with how you see gratitude showing up in your own life?
How can we practice gratitude daily?
There's tons of ways. The classic is gratitude journaling, but that feels a bit performative to me. I think what works better is weaving it into small moments, like really savoring your coffee, thinking about something specific you appreciate about your family or noticing something beautiful that you'd usually miss. It's more about shifting your attention than ticking boxes. What would feel natural for you? What small thing could you build into your routine?
So, viewers, this is my conversation with Maya. I hope you liked the session. I will meet you again with another AI session soon. Till then, take care of yourself. Pakistan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz.